Hello coders, Synthetic Programming here with a brand new video for you guys today, and today we're going to be writing a script in Python to filter photos with custom photo filters. So just like those photo filters you see on Instagram that change a photo to maybe look a little nicer or change the color a little bit, change the contrast, yada yada. What we're going to do now is we are going to make a program that will randomly generate filters so we can test them out, and once we find one we like, we can actually apply that filter to other photos. You can use this for Instagram, Snapchat, whatever social media you kids are on nowadays. So here we go. Let's get started, and to start off we're going to import some libraries. So from PIL, the Python Imaging Library, also known as Pillow, import image. And this is going to be the image class we use to load in our image, get the data, all that stuff. So next thing we're going to do is from random import random. This is going to be the random number generator that we'll use to make our filters to begin with, and then we can use the filters once we find one we like. So let's start writing our function. The first thing we're going to do is say def filter image. So that's going to be our function to filter the image. We need to give it the path of the image, so the name of the file and the location, and then we are going to say shifts. Now shifts is going to be a list, and that list is going to be what we want the filter to be, right? So these 9 numbers in this list, it's going to be a list of 9 numbers, will define a filter. So we're going to say at first that shifts is equal to a list, and the reason for this is when we just put in a path and we don't give it a shifts list, we're going to make it randomly generate one. So we start off as having shifts be an empty list. However, if we ever want to put our own list in here, we can also do that, and you'll see that in a minute. So after we do this a little bit, we're going to say if len of shifts, so if the length of that shift list is equal to 0, so in other words, if we didn't put a shift list in, it makes it an empty list. So if it did that, if it made an empty list, we're going to say that shifts is equal to a list with 9 random numbers in it. So we're going to say for, you can use an underscore here, you can use I, whatever you want. I'm going to use an underscore for underscore in range 9. Again, so this is going to make shifts be a 9 number list of random numbers. So now we can move on. We're going to say im is going to be equal to that image object dot open, because we have to open our image, and we're going to say path, just like that. Then we're going to say photo, which is going to be a little different, is going to be a list of all the pixels in the image. So im.getData, just like that. Okay, so that's going to now be, so photo is going to be a list of every pixel in that image. The next thing we're going to do is say filtered is going to be equal to an empty list. This is going to be the list where we put all our edited pixels into, okay? So this loads up image, right? Then we take all the data from image and we put it into a list called photo, and then this is an empty list where we're going to put all the filtered pixels. Okay, so now we can actually start writing the part that filters the pixel. So for pixel in photo, just like that, we're going to say that RGB, R comma G comma B, equals pixel. So what are we doing here? So in this line, remember a pixel looks like this. Let's say like 100 maybe, 150 and 190. Okay, so a pixel has 3 parts: red, green, and blue. Okay, so this would mean R is 100, so R gets set to 100, G gets set to 150, and B gets set to 190. Okay, these numbers can be anything between 0 and 255. So you can have 0, 0, 0, that's the color black, and then you can have 255, 255, 255, that's the color white, and then everything in between is just combinations of numbers between 0 and 255. Okay, so here we just set R, G, and B to the values of the pixel. Now we actually have to edit those values. So we'll say first new R is going to be equal to a number that we're going to get by multiplying the R, the G, and the B by the shifts and adding them together. So the first thing we'll do is we're going to say R times shifts 0, just like that, plus R times shifts 1. Oh, sorry, not R. G times shifts 1 plus B times shifts, and then we can do, let's say, 2. Okay, so just like that. And then let's also, just to be safe, let's put these in parentheses so that we know that we are adding together the numbers after they're multiplied. So we want to multiply by the shifts and then add them all together, just like that. Okay, so notice we just used the first 3 shifts. There's 9 shifts. So we're going to copy this, copy it a couple times, just like that. And we're going to say new G and then new B, just like that. And they're going to be the exact same thing, except for this will be 3, 4, and 5. And this will be 6, 7, and 8. Just like that. So now that we've edited our pixel, we have to add that pixel to the filtered list. So we're going to do filtered.append, just like that. And then we're going to append a new pixel. So we're going to say the int of new R, right? Then we're going to say the int of new G. And then finally the int of new B. Just like that. So R, G, B, but the edited value of the pixel. Perfect. So now that we've done that, we have to put all that data into the image. So we're going to do im.putData, just like that. And we can actually just say filtered. So we're just going to put that whole list, this whole list of filtered pixels, we're just going to put that back into the image object and then save it. im.save, and then we're going to call it out.jpg, let's say. And with the reason I'm going to do JPG is because you can see the photos I have up here to test are JPG photos, JPEGs. Okay, so one of the last things we're going to do is say print shifts, so we can actually see what the shifts list was that got generated, so we can use it for other photos if we like that filter. And so now I'm just going to get rid of the white space so you guys can see that this whole function and everything is just about 20 lines, including these 2 blank spaces. So all the imports and the function is less than 20 lines. It's not too long of a program at all. We're just going to call it down here. So we'll say filter image. And the first one I'm going to use is photo.jpg. And you can see photo.jpg is right up here. So I'm going to actually open that up so you guys can see it is a monkey sitting on a rock with its mouth wide open. So what we're going to do is we are going to run this program, which should filter photo.jpg with a random filter because, see, we only supplied a path. We didn't supply a shift list, so it'll randomly filter it. So I've just run the program. It says it's done. And let's see. So here is photo.jpg. This is out.jpg. Let's zoom in a little bit on that so you can see. And it made it nice and pink. So we can keep trying this actually. So I'm going to run it again. Gives it a little bright filter like that. I'm going to run it again. Gives it a nice like purple filter. And I can keep going until I find one that I like. So let's find an interesting one. You know, the blue one is pretty cool. Now this one looks kind of awesome. This one makes everything look like a little less saturated, like the colors are kind of gone. It's got like a pink hue to it, but I like this look a lot. Okay, so now we have down here the shifts list that got printed. I'm going to copy that shifts list just like that, Control C, and I can save this shifts list somewhere if I want to use it again. So let's get rid of out, let's get rid of photo, and let's open up photo 2. So photo 2 is this little guy. So I want to see what happens when I apply the filter I used on this one, right, to photo 2. So first, I'm going to change this to out2.jpg, just so it won't overwrite our other one right here. And so we're going to try to apply this to photo 2. So remember down here, I'll change this to photo 2. And let's see if we can add this filter to it. So we're going to say comma, and then the shifts list. And again, the shifts list looks pretty long, but I can just make it look a little nicer by doing that. Perfect. So we have photo 2 with this list. So photo 2 hopefully will look a little something like this. Let's run it. So it says done, and let's look at out 2. Nice. So out 2 looks like that. So look, they have the same sort of look, the same sort of aesthetic. So if you have an Instagram or a blog that you want to have like a theme, this is a pretty cool little program because you can make your own filter. It's custom, and then you can apply it to any photo. So we went from this to this. If I open up the other photo as well, so we have this went to this, and this went to this. So now we've created our own filter, and our filter is this list right here. Awesome. So I hope you guys find some use for this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Ethan with Synthetic Programming. We are going up in subscribers. We just went from 7,000 to 7,120, which I'm super excited about. So we're gaining some more coders along the way. Please rate, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to see you guys in more videos in the future. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys.